Science 210 FSSC Board Heredity and Evolution. Heredity. The process of transfer of physical and mental characters through genes from parents to the progeny is known as heredity. Johann Gregor Mendel is pioneer of the modern genetics. Two main mechanisms of hereditary changes are mutations and natural selections. Mutation: these are changes in the genetic sequence, and they are a main cause of diversity among organisms. They can have widely differing consequences. Natural selection: it leads to an evolutionary change when some individuals with certain traits in a population have a higher survival and reproductive rate than others and pass on these inheritable genetic features to their offspring. Transcription, translation and translocation. Information about protein synthesis is stored in the DNA, and synthesis of appropriate proteins as per requirement is necessary for body. These proteins are synthesized by DNA through the RNA, this called as central dogma. The sequence of nucleotides in mRNA being produced is always complementary to the DNA strand used for synthesis. Besides, there is uracil in RNA instead of thymine of DNA. This process of RNA synthesis is called as transcription. Triplet codon is code for each amino acid consists of 3 nucleotides. Nobel Award winner Dr. Hargovind Khorana has made an important discovery of triplet codons for 20 amino acids. Each mRNA is made up of thousands of triplet codons. Amino acids are supplied by tRNA, as per the message on mRNA. tRNA is an anticodon to decode the codon on mRNA. This is called translation. The amino acids brought in by tRNA are bonded together by peptide bonds with the help of rRNA. The moving ribosomes from one end to another of mRNA by the distance of one triplet codon, and the process is known as translocation. Evolution. Evolution is gradual, long-lasting and slow process for development of organisms. Changes in specific characters of living organisms leads to formation of new species as a response to natural selection is said to be evolution. All changes and development in living organisms is slow and gradual and multidimensional, which leads to various types of evolution. Evidences of evolution. Morphological evidences: structure, position, shape, hair, etc. shows some similarities, and this proves the same origin and common ancestors. Anatomical evidences: similarity in structure of bones and joints in organs indicates they might have common ancestors. Vestigial organs: sudden development of new tissues or organs undergo gradual changes for surviving is not possible, but existing organs change and can be degenerated. These degenerated and underdeveloped useless organs of organisms are called as vestigial organs. Paleontological evidence is the study of fossils to determine organisms' evolution and interactions with each other and their environments. Carbon dating method: carbon consumptions of animals and plants stops after death, and since then, only the decaying process of C14 occurs continuously. The time passed since the death of a plant or animal can be calculated by measuring the radioactivity of C14 and ratio of C14 to C12 present in their body, known as carbon dating method. Embryological evidence is all embryos show extreme similarities during initial stages, and those similarities decrease gradually. Similarities in initial stage indicate the common origin of all these animals. Darwin's theory of natural selection. Innumerable specimens of plants and animals were collected by Darwin. Depending on the observations of those specimens, he published the theory of natural selection. For this purpose, Darwin had published a book titled Origin of Species. Advantages of theory. The theory is based on natural selection, suggesting that only fittest survive. All organisms compete with each other in a life-threatening manner. But in this, natural selection plays an important role where it selects which are fit to live and others perish. Sustaining and selected organisms can perform reproduction and give rise to new species with their own specific characters. Drawbacks of Darwinism. Natural selection is not the only factor responsible for evolution. Darwin did not mention any explanation about useful and useless modifications. There is no explanation about slow changes and abrupt changes. Lamarckism. Jean-Baptiste Lamarck proposed that morphological changes occurring in living organisms are responsible for evolution, and reason behind those morphological changes is activities or laziness of that organism. He called this concept as a principle of use or disuse of organs. Activities of the organism are responsible for their evolution. Each animal or plant undergoes some changes in its lifespan, and those changes are transferred to next generation, and such changes occur in next subsequent generations too. This is called theory of inheritance of acquired characters, or Lamarckism. Journey of human evolution. After the disappearance of dinosaurs, monkey-like animals are said to be evolved. Tail of these monkeys disappeared about 4 crores years ago. Development in hands and improvement in brain lead to evolution of apes-like animals. Gorilla and chimpanzee evolved about 2.5 crore years ago. Human-like animals evolved about 2 crore years ago. First record of human-like animals is with us in the form of Ramapithecus from East Africa. The morphology of these human-like animals started to appear like the member of the genus Homo about 20 years ago, and thus skilled humans developed. About 15 lakhs years ago, human walking with erect posture was evolved. Neanderthals man evolved about 1,50,000 years ago. They are the first example of wise man. The Cro-Magnon man evolved from Neanderthal man about 50,000 years ago, and afterwards this evolution had been faster than earlier. Brain of 50,000-year-old man had been sufficiently evolved to the extent that it could be considered as a member of the class wise man Homo sapiens. Thank you.